Hey YouTube, and first, hello to all my returning subscribers. Thank you guys for checking this back out, and any potential or new visitors or subscribers. Thank you guys for checking out my channel. So I've seen a lot of people who've commented on my videos, the ones who like watch my videos regularly and all that, and they've been asking to make me these certain videos. I've never got to around to them, and I feel so bad for it. So I've decided to. They have a lot of questions, and a lot of those questions I can put into a video. The reason I held back a little is I want to do my research and I want to really look into myself. Being out of the military has been a little difficult making those videos that when I joined, because that was over 5 years ago. But remembering from what I did, taking time just to remember what the process was and all that, and actually do the research and see like is the process still the same. They're very similar still. So guys, this is what a couple videos that I'm gonna be busting out and putting them up. They're gonna be videos that people have asked for and that I just finally are around getting to now. So I apologize for the wait, but I hope these videos are very helpful. So the first video I'm going to do is about joining the United States Air Force, but this process can be utilized in all for any branch you're joining to a certain point, because after a certain point it's a little different from what I'm getting at. But the starting point to a middle point until I think you get to your job selection is when it changes a little bit, but the rest of it should be the kind of similar and all that. Again, if I'm making these videos, if you guys see something different, let me know. But this is from what I remember talking to others and just doing my research and all that. So the very first, what are you supposed to do is to do your research. That's number one for the biggest thing when you're joining the United States military. You do your research. When I say that, first of all, there's two parts of it. The first research you should be doing is learning about the different, like what military life is. Learn about what the daily grind is, what the lifestyle is, the pros and cons, and just learning about being in the military, what it's like. How do you do that research? Of course, you can research it online, but the best way is to, talking to others. But another way is going through YouTube. Why should I do it? There is a plethora of military YouTubers, amazing military YouTubers from Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, who give you guys into a big background. You might even know these military YouTubers. They give great background information. They give good insight into their lives, and they give good perspective. So if you really need to, because it's such a big step joining the U.S. military, it's not something you should take lightly, and it's something you should definitely do your research so that you understand. The second part of the research is that you should definitely is look at each branch. When I say that, look at the pros and cons of each branch. They definitely have that. For example, the Air Force, that in my point of view, they have the better lifestyle. Army and Marines, they're more focused on that infantry aspect. You feel more of that warrior, feeling and all that. Navy, I believe they have a larger job selection. That's from just my point of view. And if you ask someone who's in a certain branch, they're gonna be most likely biased and say, this branch and all that. So that's definitely something you want to research. You want to research the pros and cons and come to your own conclusion of what you think is the better branch that will suit you for your goals, like career-wise, what you want to do if you get out and all that. Like, what are you expecting to gain from the military, and what experiences you want to happen for you when you're in the military and all that. So that's the big one. Research is A and B pretty much. There's two parts of it. Definitely do that to join the United States military. Number two is contact a recruiter. You've heard different stories about contacting a recruiter. The biggest and the simplest way, or the way that's encouraged, is go through their website. For the Air Force one, you're just gonna go through it and you're gonna fill out some information. Then they're gonna ask you, the area you're living in. They're gonna find the nearest recruiter. You're supposed to give them about 5 to 7 business days so that they can contact you. If they don't, try contacting them through phone, email, and all that. My way, I did a little differently. I was interested in the United States Air Force. I researched a recruiting office near me, and it pretty much, they were about only 10 to 15 minutes away. So I went in person. The reason I did that is, it was more simple, and I was able to put a name to the face or face to the name, either one, so that they knew who I was and they could connect the name to it. And they go, so this is who, so-and-so, I know who that is, and then I could talk to them in person. That might not be as simple as others who are living farther away. So, they said give it about 5 to 7 business days and then contact, give them time, send an email or call. But if you guys had that opportunity, I would definitely go see that recruiter in person if possible. So when you go talk to that recruiter, which is like step 2 in my point, is definitely you're going to most likely talk to them about your history, why you're interested in joining the military, and then they're just going to talk to you about legal wise, and then definitely medical, if you had any surgeries, if you had any medical histories, if you were asthma and all that, etc. and etc. They might also, they're not also, but they're going to take your weight, your height, etc. and stuff. Then they're going to judge that based on it. You know, this is the height and weight and how much this person weighs, and they're just going to see, you know, maybe you need to like make sure you eat a little more, or you know, watch what you're eating. Just be, they're going to give you a good radar on that stuff. Then they're going to most likely give you a practice ASVAB, or what a lot of people know as the Armed Service Vocational Aptitude Battery Exam, but it's more called the ASVAB actually. The reason they want to do this is they want to see you were. When I took mine, I think I did decently, is because what the recruiter said is they felt comfortable to send me like to my actual one. If I wanted to, you know, practice a little more so I could get a higher score, I could, but they felt they were comfortable for me to pass the ASVAB. So they're gonna make you do that. They might tell you what you might have to work on, or like, hey, come back, practice a little bit, and we'll do another practice before we send you to your actual ASVAB exam. So that's step 2, contacting the recruiter, and that's the little steps. At the same time, I'm going to connect this to, so you're going to bring just all your medical records. They're going to have you fill out paperwork just to see where you're at. If you check out for your background and everything, your medical is good, they're going to schedule you for what is called the ASVAB exam. You're going to go to what is called the MEPS place, which is the Military Entrance Processing Station, or what is MEPS. And this one's a little different from what I'm getting from like some Air Force. I know the Army and Navy does it. It's a 2-day process. But mine wasn't. I had to go down to MEPS and do my ASVAB first. And then I had to do another day my MEPS physical exam. So and now the number, so that pretty much the number 3 step is they're going to schedule you for the ASVAB. But they might actually connect the MEPS physical exam. Mine wasn't. But the way it works is like you go to the ASVAB, you take it in the afternoon. And then the next morning you stay overnight. The next morning you do your MEPS really early, and that works it. So you're not going back and forth. But mine was a little different. So I scheduled my ASVAB. They're gonna give you a date to go. Like I said, if they feel like you need to study more, they'll wait for you to take another practice before you do it, and then they'll actually make you do they'll schedule for the final MEPS where you actually go for your score. So pretty much you just go to there. You're just going to show you have paperwork to show to them when you're doing your ASVAB exam. Give it to the proctor. They're going to set you up. Then it's the exam. It's like on the 4 fields of math, reading, and then engineering field, and then not engineering, mechanical and electrical field. If again, depending on what your job you want, I'll go make another video of this because someone has asked me, so I'm not going to go too deep. It's just that process. Then number 4 is actually doing your MEPS one. So you're going to have all your medical records with you. You're going to go to there. Then they're going to make you do some different exercises. They're going to see that your body is. They're going to actually check your full body things, ask you about scars and all that. What are these marks for? And you know, everything you talk to your recruiter, you should talk to, like, have that story, like not story, but explanation of why you have these body marks and stuff and what is it. You're gonna have all that paperwork. You're gonna have doctors check you one-on-one. They're gonna check your eyesight, if you have depth perception, if you have color blindness, all that. I believe they check your hearing, and then they also check your, like, you know, normal vital signs and everything. So when you're in MEPS, you're doing that whole process. Then if you get the final pass from the doctors, then you're gonna at MEPS, which is step 4, or you can connect it to ASVAB. You can put ASVAB and MEPS together depending on what you guys do, like if you do them within each other. I separated because I did the ASVAB by itself, and I'm doing the MEPS, so 3 and 4. That's what my mindset. So after you get your exam finally done and you pass and all that, you're going to take an oath there, and you know, you finalize there. But before you do the oath there, you have to sign your contract. So the one there was between 6 and 4 years. I told my recruiter I was going to do 6. So they built the contract for me, and I signed it and all that. They went through it saying 6 years, this is the rank you're going. When you meet with the recruiter, you're going to bring also your high school things. I was going in as an E3 because I had my associate degrees when I joined and all that. So after that, that's when you go into what is the oath, you swear in and all that. And then pretty much you're done there. I know the Army and Navy, they actually have their jobs, so they actually sign their contracts with their jobs. That, for me, that wasn't. From what I can remember, other people said in the Air Force, they did it a little differently. But the way it works is I was done for the day at MEPS and all that. So I went back to my recruiter. He had my ASVAB scores, and there. He told me, like, I think a couple of days after MEPS, he told me fill out these ones. It's what is called the job selection process. I'll make another video because you can spend a couple good minutes on that. The job selection, he told me fill out 10 jobs and choose aptitude. So I chose, list 10 jobs, and I chose the admin field. After you swear in and all that and do you're technically in what is called DEP, or delayed entry program. It's where you're waiting for a job and a ship date. So after I selected my job, it is pretty much each first of the month, I believe, or first every Wednesday, is I was going into meeting up with my recruiter and other people who were in delayed entry program. We did some exercises. They checked their weight, our weight, and made sure that we were still good and all that. We maybe did like some formation movements, but it was mostly focusing on exercising and all that. Delayed entry program is a little different. Some recruiters might make you do, facing movements, learning how to march and all that, or at the same time doing maybe reporting statement, etc., all that. But that's pretty much what we were working out. And then after that, after I chose my, 10 jobs I wanted in the field, it was pretty much just a waiting game. So the last step is really just waiting for your ship date and all that. So the way that works is your recruiter will get all these different jobs after it's passed, because the first step is all the jobs have to be selected in BMT for those members. Then anything that's left over is trickled to the delayed entry program people. So the way it works is your recruiter will look, see match and all that. There's a chance that they might still call you about jobs that maybe wasn't on your list, maybe if you're interested. Because some people say, hey, just get me out of here. The job doesn't really matter. I just want something. So they might just call you on jobs that maybe wasn't on your list, but something they think might interest you, so that there's a chance that you might get out sooner. So it's connected your job with the ship date. So a job that drops will have a ship date with it, and that's how you get shipped out with your AFSC or job. So the way is, I was waiting for maybe a month after everything was done, after my job selection and MEPS. And then my recruiter pretty much finally called me, hey, say, I didn't know how it happened, but admin field job open. So that means I wouldn't go in with a specific job. I would choose the Air Force BMT. And he said, this is my ship date. Do you want it? You can say yes or no. But if you do say no, there is a chance that you might fall in the rank, where you might be shipped, because then they're looking for people who are trying to ship out quicker and who want to. But I said, yes, I'm ready to go. So they gave me the final date. I contacted 2 weeks before my final ship out day, or a week before. They brought me in. We fill out the final paperwork. We made sure that it was good. He pretty much told me, hey, just keep yourself safe until you ship out. They don't want you anything new. The reason being is when the day before you ship out and all that is you get final night at MEPS, and the morning of the day shipped out, you get final examination, make sure nothing has changed and that you're ready to go. And then you finally do another oath, and this is where your family members come. So that's the last step. Number 6 is going there, get your final MEPS examination and ship out, say goodbye to family, and you're off to BMT or basic training for all the other branches. So guys, that is pretty much how is the process of joining the military. I just gave some quick details about it, maybe went in a little more detail, but I will be definitely doing a video about how to take the ASVAB, etc. Maybe how MEPS, if I can remember much of that. But I will continue making those videos. But this is how, if you want to join the military from point A to point B, condensed version, a little details, but not too bad. So guys, I hope this video helps you. And anyone who, maybe finds information that maybe is not accurate, please comment below and correct me. I'm more than happy. And it will be very helpful, so I understand and all that. But like I said, this is from what I can remember, the research I've done and the people I've talked to. So I think it is pretty accurate. It might have changed because it has been over 5 years, like I said. But this is the process to join the military, from point A to point B, from saying, I want to do this, to shipping out and all that. Guys, definitely please like this video. Please share it and comment below. If you guys haven't, please click the subscribe button. Check me out on other social media sites like my Instagram and my Snapchat, the same name as my YouTube, Kotaro Prince. And guys, I'll definitely be more consistent with making these videos. It's going to be a good run, maybe 4 or 5 videos in a row of this kind of information, just so you guys know. And hopefully it's good information. If you guys think I should go a different direction with my channel, something like, hey, it doesn't seem like you no longer know this kind of information, or it's kind of old or outdated, let me know. Maybe I'll start heading a different direction for these videos. But the best videos I see that are making impact are the ones about joining the military, and something that people have been asking me to continue to do. So that is why I decided to make this video. Guys, thank you. This is all from my point of view, my perspective, stuff I researched, but still my perspective. Thank you guys for supporting me. I hope this video was helpful. Take it easy.